Cuando Xochitl y Javier vinieron a México, fueron a Taxco y Xcaret. Y comieron michiotes con salsa de choconostle. This is how you pronounce X in Spanish. Confused yet? In this video, I, Spring Spanish teacher Paulísima, will teach you why X is so challenging to pronounce in Spanish, and I'm also going to share with you some tricks to make sure you always get it right. Empecemos. Número 1. X con sonido de J. Remember that J sounds like H in Spanish. Ja, je, ji, jo, ju. Quite often, Spanish words with X will sound as if they were written with a J. El ejemplo más famoso es la palabra México. Recuerda que no es Mexico, but México. So, the original name of my beautiful, beloved nation was Mexico, which is a word of Nahuatl origin. When Spaniards invaded Mexico, they heard the word Mexico, and they applied this rule made by Alfonso X, whereby if a sound had that sh sound, it should be written with the letter X. However, as Spanish evolved, the sh sound started disappearing from the language, and it was like changed or substituted by the h sound. Then by the 17th century, people didn't say Mexico anymore, but Mexico. Then the Spanish Royal Academy of the Spanish Language said that it should be written Mexico, M-E-J-I-C-O. But we said, no gracias. Y continuamos escribiendo México con X. Some other words where X sounds like the Spanish J. Javier, Oaxaca, which is a Mexican state. Texas, Jalapa. Número 2, con sonido X, like sexy or axila. We get the English X sound in las palabras que empiezan con X seguidas del grupo PR, como exprimir o expresamente. Y también en casi todas las palabras that have the word X followed by the group PL, como explicar o explanada. And yeah, I said casi, almost, because there are some exceptions, like espliego and esplendor y todos sus derivados. Words beginning with the prefix X, words like excarcelar o extremo. Y las palabras que empiezan con el prefijo extra, extraordinario o extraterrestre. Número 3, con sonido de la S. Xochitl, Xochimilco, Taxco. Estos todos son lugares en México, excepto Xochitl, que es un nombre propio. Ah, y también es el nombre de una sopa. Xochitl, Xochimilco, Taxco, Atlilco, Xochicalco, Xochitepec. These are all words from an indigenous Mexican language, so in this case, the sound is completely different to that in English. En las palabras que empiezan con seno, como xenofobia. Número 4, con sonido sh, Xcaret y Xel-Há, que son dos parques acuáticos naturales en la Riviera Maya, ampliamente recomendados. Ah, y también Xoloscuintle. ¿Viste la película Coco de Disney? Well, the dog in the movie, it's a Mexican hairless dog breed that's a Xoloscuintle. También se le dice Xoloescuincle, creo. Número 5. ¿Cómo se pronuncia? You may learn many words and phrases with letter X and still get it wrong. Trust me, I'm Mexican, I'm a native Spanish speaker, and even I don't know what's the pronunciation in many words with the letter X. When that happens, it is most likely that the word comes from an indigenous language, and as we just saw, that means that it could be either a J sound or an S sound or a sh sound. To make sure you're doing it right, primero tienes que recordar que la X no siempre suena como la X. This is one of the most common mistakes that Spanish students make. They just try to force the x sound in every word. Now, what you have to do is learn how to ask. Disculpe, ¿cómo se pronuncia esta palabra? Number 6, X as an adjective. I'm sure that even if you don't know all the ways that letter X is pronounced in Spanish, tal vez sí estás familiarizado con la cerveza 2X. ¿Sabías que cuando fue lanzada en 1897, el nombre original de la cerveza era siglo XX? And you know that 20 is written with 2x in Roman numbers, so people started calling it la cerveza de las 2X. So they just changed the name. Another thing you need to know is that the word X means something else in Mexican Spanish. Let's say, hey Paulísima, ¿qué pasó con ese chico altísimo que te gustaba? Ah, tiene novia. Ay no, pobrecita. Ay no, X, no pasa nada. Aquí X significa que es algo irrelevante, algo que no tiene importancia. ¿Se me ve bien este vestido? Sí, se te ve bien, pero está muy X. Oye, ¿te gustó la de Maid? X. Aquí X significa que algo no es nada especial o que se destaque. O algo que sea particularmente agradable. It's plain, simple, in a good way. X. Chunk alert. Repite después de mí. Está X. Está X. ¿Cómo está el restaurante? Está X. ¿Cómo está la película? Está X. X isn't the only letter and sound that's hard in Spanish. There are a few more. So now let's have a look at other tough sounds in Spanish. I asked Spring Spanish teacher Juan to help me out here. Click on the image on the screen to continue the lesson on tough sounds and letters in Spanish.